Hey everybody, it's Tuesday, March 3rd, 1:23 in the afternoon, Phoenix, Arizona time. And I just got done making the final payment, well, the other day to my patent attorney. So it immediately, as soon as that check hit their accounts, they'd press that click button and it went directly to the patent attorney lawyer office in Washington, D.C. or some crazy stuff like that. So I officially have a patent pending number. And, when we're doing something as complex as that, now, like, patent pending, that's amazing. I mean, is it going to make me is the device going to make me $1 bazillion and change the world and whatever? I hope so. I mean, it is about recycling. It is about turning trash into treasure and using wasted resources into turning something more productive with very little, if any, moving parts. But the thing is, my thinking is, so he'd send an email, being like, "Hey, is everything cool? Everything done? Or can I jump for joy? I mean, can I just, whatever, that kind of conversation." So the attorney or the people of the receptionist or something like that helped clear it up and be like, "Yeah, you got your number, you got your utility patent, and it's all celebration and stuff." And I'm like, cool. I'm like, then the thought popped in. It's like, why don't people celebrate patent attorneys more often? Like, why are we celebrating unelected federal agencies? What makes them so prizeful? I mean, when by definition, they're committing treason and domestic terrorism by the definition of their careers. We have a constitution that nobody wants to respect. Like, for example, the Second Amendment. Who committed treason first? This is a legitimate question, and I'm very curious on this answer. Who committed treason first? The ATF or the cowards asking government to violate the Second Amendment? When the Second Amendment was designed to protect us from big government. And now there's an agency telling us what we can and cannot do. Now let's bring it back further. The next couple amendments. Fourth, privacy, freedom of speech, all this. And then the fifth. How many agencies are a direct violation of it? I mean, they're so key into spending their life invading our privacy. Like, what kind of a personality trait is that? Where you care more about other people than you do about your own existence. In fact, you're willing to spend decades of your life stalking, harassing, and being a pain in the ass, and violating the Constitution, and then coming up with the biggest spineless anti-American justification for your career. What's the purpose? You've literally commit treason. And even Albert Einstein, when he was trying to get in the United States, they rejected him 3 times because they thought he was a Nazi spy when he was Jewish. He literally looked J. Edgar Hoover in the eyes and said, "How does working for the government prevent tyranny?" And since then, we've had people that have been executed, their stuff stolen from, rioted, and government has literally stolen from us regularly, and no one bats an eye. We were the first country to defeat an empire that was already had complete control of the planet, the British. Or we can take it a step back and go to China. China in the early 1914s, in the 1400s, in the early 1400s, they had the best ocean vessels. They could travel anywhere. The only reason why they did not travel to the United States about 60, 80 years before Columbus is because when they had the regime change, the Emperor of China goes, I don't want to waste resources exploring the world. Let's just kick back at home and keep China how we need it to be. You know? So that's why we were able to have the Columbus activities. So why don't you guys take in consideration of what it is that we are here for? We're Americans. We're going on the 250th year anniversary of conscious evolution. History has proven time and time again that people that can think for themselves are a threat to those that can't and that feel the need to control. Which is why I will never respect unelected federal agencies as Americans. Because by definition, you've already violated the Constitution on multiple levels. It is absolutely embarrassing. Which is why the pandemic was a mathematical equation. Especially when the founding fathers did their history. And you know what they say about people who study history? You study history so you don't repeat it, so you learn from it, so you can make adjustments. That's projection into the future. And they expected that every 100 or so years, people would get fed up with each other. They wanted to divide, and all kinds of bickering and arguing and stuff like that. People would get lazy and sloppy. Well, we've been lazy and sloppy since the 1913s. Now, you can call it a conspiracy theory, you can call it whatever. You say conspiracy theory, I say here's the math. Here's the logic. You want government? You say conspiracy theory, I consider you a government worshiper, which is no different than calling you a communist, a socialist, a Bible thumper. We got feet under our knees to stand on. So, why don't you go dig deep into your heart? And if you're going to say bravery, freedom, and opportunity, then why don't you talk about the internal structure of our country, of the United States? Unelected federal agencies should not be prized. That's not a career worth having. It is anti-American. It is not bravery. It doesn't add to freedom. It's extortion, thievery, robbery, and destruction. You might as well be wearing a swastika. Just put a different letter in front of it. We're freedom fighters. We defend our own freedom. You don't need to go out of country for that. As much as people love to blow each other's brains apart, I have no problem with that, honestly. If you want to go to war, you want to go to the military and do all that stuff just to watch heads pop off, great, cool. I don't care. It doesn't matter. But what does matter is that if you're going to talk about freedom, bravery, and opportunity and then brag about unelected federal agencies, then you're a fucking moron. Literally. You're an idiot. You've been brainwashed, and it's embarrassing. Now, why do I say this? Because when I was a kid, I was like, you know what? There's three main things. If I wanted to do the greatest amount of good, have the greatest amount of fun, and the highest amount of productivity with longevity attachment, well, if the country is about freedom, bravery, and limited government, then working for the government, what was it? The one I wanted to work for was Crisis Initiation Association, CIA for short. You can call it whatever you want, but by definition, you guys cause problems and cause more problems, and then you brag about causing more problems. And then you guys talk about who's the better narcissist, who has the better sociopath, who's the better psychopath, or however you want to articulate those dark triads. Because you're already violating, a moral code. So, to sum it up, I got my patent pending. It's based on recycling. It's based on keeping the trees healthy. It's to help reduce plastic, reuse, reduce, recycle. That's an asset, not a liability. I don't need a gun to put to somebody's head to make them do what I want to get done. That's dictatorship. So the next time you brag about working for the government, ask yourself, am I an asset or a liability? Do I hold a gun on my head and boss people around, wear body armor, built like a tank, looking like one of those retards in the Star Wars suits? What were they? Stormtroopers. Are you a stormtrooper? You can't see, you can't think. You're all the same. You pass a stupid test. Come on. The citizens out there, 80% of you guys got vaccinated from the government using fear. We're brave, free. Just don't worship government. Expect more of yourself. There's no need for fear. We're on the verge of something amazing coming around, and you guys just want to bicker and argue. We got better things to do.